We are located in this region for the abundance of berries and other things that can be gathered for food along with the abundance of animals to hunt because of the lack of people from other groups around. We are also located close to a body of water which allows us to not have to travel far when we need water for ourselves or for the few crops that we manage. Being so close to a body of water also gives us the opportunity to fish for meat instead of hunting all the time, and attracts the animals that we do hunt such as wild sheep, wild deer, gazelles, wild goats, wild boar, and aurochs to the water. For these past few years we have been torn between continuing the practice of our ancestors or transitioning to what seems to be a step in the future, farming. In our clan there are various jobs to be done, and they are age and gender specific. Young men are in charge of hunting and also providing shelters. The older men till the land, plant, and care for crops, along with make weapons for hunters. The women are in charge of basket weaving, dressing, and preparing the animals that were hunted, along with going with the children to gather berries and other plants and water. Some of the tools that were used were made of stone and were things such as knives, spears, possibly bows and arrow, and fire. Fire acted as a tool because they not only used it to cook the food, but also to give them heat and light and protect from other animals. Transitioning to the farming kind of life would be more beneficial because although there is some work in the beginning, the profit you make will grow more and more each year and will be able to support its population growing. It also protects the family because it's more substantial and also less dangerous. However, we do not want to leave the ways of our ancestors, so we think having a few crops but continuing to hunt would be a good compromise. Hunting may not always be predictable, so having a small section of domesticated cattle would be beneficial for taking care of our lands and also providing us food if need be. However, the hunting of deer and other animals will happen. Our history. We originally came from a clan closer to the body of water, but once our people started to expand more rapidly than expected, we knew it was time to break off. 4 families decided to pick up and move northeast towards a smaller body of water. But while this move was happening, a disease struck camp and killed off 13 people, making us a group of 30. In order to cross the river, our men cut down trees and used them to make a raft that would carry us over. After crossing the river, we found a suitable location next to the water but still near the forest, which allowed us to gather berries, nuts, and other plants. During this journey, we saw different clans had many different types of crops near their homes, which made us question what they were doing. We soon learned this idea was farming, which meant they took seeds and planted them in the ground to grow their own crops instead of stealing from Mother Nature. After much curiosity, we decided to cultivate our own plants and ready the land around us for planting. We also decided to build barriers and keep some of our aurochs around for the use of their milk and occasionally their meat. This took many tries to get our plants to grow, but it soon paid off. Although we still follow our ancestors' traditions, farming has seemed to come in handy in times of need when there were no berries or other plants around, and trekking too far in the wild was dangerous because of wild animals and fear of losing some of our members. We are hunter-gatherers and transition. Alison Karloff, Tommy McCauley, and Jana Ferraro.